Hello. Getting set here. Hopefully people come by. I'm a bit late. Hey, Columbia fan. Welcome back. Sorry, I'm a bit late. I tried to do. I tried to figure out my new camera thing, but it was not quite working. I have to wait till hubby comes home for me to get to figure out. Suppose my new camera can do live events. It's a little Yi light, YI light. Um, so supposedly I could do live events and I can control it with my phone or something. But I tried to connect to do a live event. Hey, puppy's breath. But it just wasn't working. I tried for 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, screw it. I'll figure it out when Jeff comes home and maybe I can try and use that tomorrow. Oh, today. So, remember I had one of those from my friend, the quinoa bowls? So I took it and then I took some of the veggies that I got from her, the Asian vegetables. I threw in 2 eggs and I kind of scrambled it in, and I microwaved it. I put a bit of soy sauce and sriracha. So it's kind of like a stir fry with eggs and veggies. I'm trying to eat the stuff in my freezer and I'm like, oh, what can I make? See, I don't know. Okay, Abby fell asleep. So Abby's been up since 2. She fell asleep about 9. I don't think 9. Yeah, I don't think she ate anything. So when she wakes up, she's going to be hungry. But she's not going to like this. So I tried to wake her up, but she didn't wake up. So I'm not gonna be too worried. She's not going to starve or anything. And tonight, hubby didn't want the Greek chicken. So instead, I'm going to make the chicken wings that I got for sale yesterday. I got 2 packages, 1.2 kilograms of chicken wings that came with a barbecue sauce. So I might do some for the kids with barbecue, but the rest I'll do hot sauce. Um, for supper tonight, we'll have chicken wings. We'll have corn on the cob. Probably salad because I picked up corn on the cob for 30 cents a corn, and it's really good corn. Like it looks like I took off a kernel of one of them. And I ate it like raw, and it's sweet. I'm like, I don't know if I even have to cook it, but of course I will. But you could probably like eat it fresh. So, but so I've got I'm getting rid of some stuff, but not other stuff. Thanks. And today I had my appointment this morning at 10, and that was done. And I've been calling in our prescriptions because I mean, to make sure that we had our prescriptions all filled out before we go on vacation. Hi, Jay Ward. Oh, my appointment was fine. Um, I'm having this quinoa bowl with some more frozen veggies and some scrambled egg with soy sauce and sriracha. So kind of like a fried rice, but fried quinoa. But no, Abby's been dealing with insomnia. She has this weird non 24-hour sleep thing. So her internal clock is not 24 hours. It's, I think, longer, like 30 hours. So she's up for a longer time and then sleeps, or she'll fall asleep. Like it's been really bad lately. She's been falling asleep in the afternoon, and then sleeping completely through supper, and then waking up at like 2. Hey, Hometown Cooking with Marianne. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. It's 1:20 here in the afternoon. Some for me, but that is that. I just hope her internal clock gets all um, closer to schedule when school starts in September. Well, it could be morning where you are. I don't know. If you're like near California, I think it's still morning. Hey, Geraldine Pipa, I'm doing good. Oh, I know how that is, losing track of time. It's 10:20. It's morning for puppy's breath. For me, I just took out the chicken wings to have for supper, so they'll be defrosted. Um, and just getting things done. I have a load of laundry in. Now I have to wait till my oldest gets home from babysitting to empty the dishwasher so I can get my youngest to load the dishwasher. PA. Is that Pennsylvania? You're in the future. No, you're in the past. See, I wish I could go back in time. Instead of going in the future, go back in time and fix mistakes, decisions I made, especially financial decisions I made. To go back and don't make them and make different ones. So you are in deep stuff. She slept. She did message me afterwards that she was still sleeping. Still, I heated up more of the coffee at the Pete's place. Big Bang. Mm, that's some good stuff. She lied yesterday then. What? So, so yeah, I'm still trying to eat out of stuff. I've come to the conclusion that I swear that my house, my kitchen, my fridge, there's like some sort of vortex in there. Because no matter how much I eat from there, it seems to multiply. Or if I take stuff out of my freezer to eat up, I make something with it, but then I have to freeze the leftovers, and it takes up the same amount of space as it did before. It's just now in a different form. There was a shooting today, and 2 officers were involved. Where? Here? Or where you are? See, I don't get in Toronto. Wow. Yeah, Toronto. So Toronto is basically Canada's like biggest city. It's probably the closest one to what you guys would have as a big city. They're like New York or something like that. So it's like crazy there. If there is crime, it does happen in Toronto, but also like places in Toronto, you can get like you rent a room for $1,000, and a month. Like an apartment, a one-bedroom apartment, you're spending at least a couple $1,000s, and that's not even downtown. And your room is like tiny houses. The only time they can own a house is you have to be in the suburbs, and that's over an hour away to drive to downtown, and your house is still like $1 million, and it's like a townhouse like mine that I paid 200. That's crazy. Wow. There's been this summer. There's been a lot of crime happening in Toronto, and it's been crazy. Um, People like somebody driving their truck, like van, down a sidewalk and hitting people on purpose. Yes, prayers for all those involved. And then there was actually a shooting where I think only two people died, and it was a girl, like a young lady, like 19, and a girl. They like somebody just went started shooting, like it went down by some restaurants and by like the cafes that people like eating on the patio. He just went and shot. Is the internet freezing on here? I don't know. Yeah, of the places that have crime, Toronto, like Canada. First improvements. It's okay now. Okay, because there's like way too many people. It's just a big city. We'll probably get it on the news. I see. I don't have cable. Um, and I don't really listen to the radio that much. So whatever news I get, it's usually um, broadcast on Facebook or on Twitter. Like it'll come in my feed, or other people like you guys will mention it to me, and then I can go to our news channels and watch the news online. There's a special place in. Yes, exactly. So just saw on your internet browser homepage. Yeah, it's pretty bad when you guys get our news. We keep on getting all your news. Okay, I have to say something. Um, a friend of mine who lives in the States, um, she lives in Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee. One of her neighbors down the street from her said to her, they were discussing, because she didn't vote for Trump, but this neighbor did. Okay, and they were just like discussing um, some of his policies or the things that have come up in the news. The the Trump supporter guy said to her, my friend Mary, that's in Tennessee said, "Oh well, Trump must be doing something well because there hasn't been any school shootings for the last couple of months." My friend Mary had to inform this guy because I mean they're both retired, right? So that there hasn't been school for the past couple of months. The kids have been out of school. That's why there hasn't been any school shootings that you haven't heard on the radio or on the news or on CNN, or that there hasn't been any because the kids weren't there. There's still been shootings or whatever, but not school shootings because where she lived, there was a few in neighboring townships and stuff like that, um, and also the big ones. Yeah. So I'm like, it has nothing to do. Like Trump didn't have anything to cause them or not. Had nothing to do with his policies. It means that the kids weren't at school, so there was no school shootings. It's kind of like, oh, there's no mosquitoes in the wintertime because it's frozen outside. They can't survive. Like, yeah. I just had to share that because I mean, I'm not. I don't want to do necessarily politics or anything like that, but I thought it was kind of a funny thing of somebody who was trying to use politics in something that had absolutely nothing to do with politics, and the argument was kind of wrong. We should give that oh, that's what they do to goats. um, Rose from Wholesome Roots. It's called Is it branding goats? They had some male goats that they um, had to do that with because they're not using them to mate or something like that. But they do that. They tie off their gonads until and then stop blood circulation until they shrivel up and fall off. Castrating gin. Yeah, but I think it's not called castrating. There's something else. But it's like they take a band, like some sort of plastic or rubber or metal band, and they tie it on there. Because I think castrating is like they go, you cut and you sew. I don't know. I have never um, done any of that. The closest to wild animals here, well, I do have a bunny that likes to live in my front yard, or at least come and visit, because I have have tall wildflowers and stuff there. So it uses it as shelter for the other animals. It's rubber and it goes around the sack. Okay. Yeah. See, I'm not. I'm a city slicker. My extent of farm animals is when I've gone to the experimental farm here in Ottawa, which is in our city, where we get to see the um, animals getting birthed in the spring, milking of cows, shredding, not shredding, shearing of sheep. There's a whole. Well, I honestly think that they used to do that for pedophiles and stuff, or people that got caught for like rape and all that stuff. I think that's like having the punishment to fit the crime. I think that type of um, punishment would be justified, but there there's very there's very few things that I can't seem to try and forgive, and that's one. They let him. Yes, because there's even because even with that with criminals themselves, like the ones like even mobster guys, right, don't like pedophiles. Like the ones who kill other people for a living, you know the enforcers or whatever. They don't like. They shouldn't be. helping them stay living longer. Yes. I don't know how we got into this. Squirrel. But, yeah. I mean, I'm not. Like, I don't necessarily believe in it, like in a death sentence, especially for some things. Because a lot of times, if certain criminals can be rehabilitated, if and sometimes these criminals became criminals because of making bad decisions, you know. But there, we don't have the death penalty anymore. But I also don't believe to extend their lives because and putting them in isolation because to keep them safe because of the crimes they did commit. I watched a women's prison documentary the other day. They called her 3. Yeah, but so in that aspect, so a lot of times, sometimes these women that do kill their children or whatever, sometimes there's a mental illness, or it's postpartum, or it's accidental, or sometimes they get the voices in their head. That type of person, depending on how it was or whatever, needs treatment for the cause, right? The child's like now, if they were just mean and sadistic and they just killed their kid because they're just then they shouldn't get treatment. Documentary. The guy was on for breaking into a house and slit the throat of a 24-year-old daughter. The guy is convinced it will be. Yeah. Hey, get to the farm. How's it going? The kids have been taken. Well, and there's that. So like CAS. That's what we have here is Children's Aid Society, and you guys have Children's Protective Agency. I think CPA. So the Children's Protective Agencies of whatever country you're in, they have a purpose, but sometimes that purpose CPS, Protective Services. So you guys have CPS, we have CAS. Here it's less so of an issue, but in the States, they get involved in some cases and they cause more trouble than it's worth. But in other cases where they should be involved and being taking away the children or working with the family to see what the problem is of what's happening, and trying to help the family to stay together. Like here in Canada, they get involved and they try and help the family stay together as much as possible by putting in different services or whatever. Like say if the mother is an alcoholic or whatever, getting her help to stay sober or whatever, or if it's a financial thing because the house is a mess because it's a financial thing, they don't have the money to fix it up or whatever, helping them with stuff like that. But a lot of times, from what I hear in a lot of states, especially with people of different races and stuff like that, they just get involved because the family is poor, not because of anything else. And then they go take the kids away and put them in foster care, which 9 times out of 10, their lives in foster care are worse than what they were at home. Because now they're with people who aren't related to them and don't love them. At least when they were at home, they were with people that loved them but just couldn't provide well for them. I always want to call her Tori. exactly. And here, same in Canada. So some kids get taken away um, because of certain situations. I think that I think they just get involved in the wrong cases. And the problem is when other times, like when there's actual real abuse, they physical abuse, um, they don't get taking away the child from the family because the dad's beating the kid. No, you get involved and get rid of the dad and put the dad in jail because he's not just necessarily beating the kid, but he's probably beating the wife. And if the wife is in a position, because a lot of battered women are don't know how to get out of that situation. If you remove the the person who's causing the hurt, and then giving the wife the services and stuff that she needs to stay away from him to live a better life, that's much better and better use of the money than taking them away and putting them in child protective services and putting them in foster care, which their lives could be worse in foster care than they are in regular care. So here in Canada, we don't like our foster care. It's with families, so it's not like a big boarding house. Usually, there's a few of them, but it's usually like a family. Um, and I've heard in the states that sometimes there's just not enough foster care places that they just put them up in the hotels. There's a few of that here, more more up north and in remote areas because there's not enough of family foster care families. Anything. And yes, but the foster care often gets paid for the kids, so they take in many. Well, exactly. And so this is the thing in Canada. There's a little bit less of that because it's it's more heavily regulated. So the families can't take in more. Like they by law they can only take in as many in as they have bedrooms or something like that. So if they have a four-bedroom house, they can only take in three kids. But yeah, in the state, and they don't get paid like they do in the states. It's basically barely what it's enough to feed and clothe the kid. It's not like earning an income. And in the states, I hear that it's a little bit more that you guys get, and that's why people take advantage of it. People that should never, and to be a foster parent here takes a lot of going through the process. Like I have friends who had kids, and their kids moved out, like graduate went off to university and stuff, and they applied to be a foster parent for some kids, and it took them 2 years just to become a foster parent, and they were allowed to take in one child at a time. They could take up to two children, but they only want to take one at a time. Um, and um, they constantly had the foster care social worker coming in like every couple of weeks to check in on the child, check in on the house, check in with the family. So there was lots of involvement to make sure that there's not abuses. So, but from what I've seen, the horror stories of people um, who have been in the system, um, you guys don't seem to have as much enforcement of the rules. Well, it's the same thing with your gun laws. Like like you guys have these laws and that, but you don't have enough manpower to enforce the laws. I mean, I think that's the difference between Canada and the U.S. is we put the manpower into enforce our gun laws. I mean, we're not perfect by by all means, but but some of the people that have had gone hold of guns and stuff, there just wasn't the people to enforce the laws. True. The law. Let's see. And some laws are just, and some laws are not just, right? Um, and it's true. Only the good people follow the rules and the laws. It's always the criminals that break the law, and the gun laws are there to kind of protect the people, but the criminals don't care about protecting the people. True. That's the thing. If a person is intent in breaking into your house, they're going to break into your house, whether you have a lock or security system or whatever. Those things are there to deter the stupid criminals. But if anybody's out there to do you harm, they're going to do you harm. You having different protections are only there to protect you from the people who want to do you harm but don't have the guts to kind of do the harm. You have a lock, I have a foot, or a crowbar, or a hairpin, or oh look, there's a window. let let them break in. I don't miss. True, but do you carry the gun with you on your person wherever you go? Like if you're sitting at the couch like I am, do you have a gun right here? I mean, I don't lock my door when I'm home. I lock. Sometimes I don't lock my door when I go out, unless I'm gone all day. If I'm just going over to the store and back, I sometimes don't lock it. But we live in a fairly safe neighborhood. Even though I'm across the street from the high school, the high school kids don't go and cause trouble. Well, at least not to me. But it's I wouldn't want to live in an area that it's like I would, for example, even in my own city, I would not want to live downtown. Downtown is loud, noisy, and busy. Yes, we have homeless people, and yes, there are criminals, and they do hang out downtown. Yes, there are drug addicts and stuff like that. I wouldn't want to live downtown because I would have to always be worried about my property, about the stuff in my backyard, or that. From my wife, house, and property. From her house, I will introduce you to my black friend. Your name is Glock. Now, here's a quick question. I mean, do you carry your gun with you wherever you go? Like, do you have it on your person all the time, even if you're at home? Because if I'm sitting here on the couch and somebody breaks through my front door, I don't I I have access to whatever I can reach here. Yeah, I don't have to. Oh, you have multiples. Okay, but don't you have to put your guns in a safe? One in the car, closet, or bedroom, hidden. See, yeah. So here in Canada, if you have a gun, you have to lock it up in your safe. Um, don't have to. I mean, you can. So you can, if you have a license, you can have it on your person. For you have to have a license, but in your home, you should have it locked in your safe. And or if you could have the guns in one spot and the bullets somewhere else. We have some in the safe too, though. But see, I mean, that is nice and all that you have access to the guns and stuff to keep you safe. What's that gonna do if someone breaks it? Well, yes. So that's the thing. So people have the gun. So if they have a gun for protection or whatever, they can have it on their person. And if they're sleeping or whatever, they probably put it under their pillow or in their nightstand or something. I don't know. Hey, Mr. Rabbit, can you hold on? Well, this is yes, but then you don't have people breaking in your car to steal your gun. To go and take that gun now to use it in a crime. Um, Hi, BJ Hunting. Hey, Brad. But here, and that's another thing. Here, if someone's going to break into your house, 9 times out of 10, they don't have a gun. They're breaking into your house because they've searched your property to make sure you're not home, so they can steal your stuff. And if you are home and you make noise, it usually scares the robbers away. Like there's not a lot of armed robbery here. Um, but from what I've heard from in the news in the states, it's more of armed robbery. I sent you a message with yes. So Tuesday I'm busy. I'm volunteering. Um, Thursday I will have to check my calendar. I think I'm free Thursday morning. Not the Thug Nuggets. I used to live. Yeah, see, here in Canada, you very rarely see like yes, we have home invasions, we have robberies and stuff like that. But the robbers don't want to rob a place when there's people in it. So they'll wait till you leave and rob. And they don't usually carry guns. Because when they are caught, they're not usually caught with weapons on them. And if anything, if they are caught with one, it's usually a fake gun. So it's usually like a plastic, like water gun used basically to scare people because we're also not sleeping with guns beside our bed to shoot you back. And we are having chicken and dump. Ooh, yum! So we were supposed to have Greek chicken with potatoes. My husband vetoed it. He's like, no, I don't want chicken. And I gave the kids a rotisserie chicken yesterday. We have still over half of a rotisserie chicken um, to eat at another time. I go, okay, fine. I took out the chicken wings. We're gonna have chicken wings and corn on the cob for supper. About to walk into the bed. Yes, Amanda. We don't want that. True. Well, see, so this is the thing. It's I think that's the difference between Canada and um and the states is that our robbers just want your stuff. Actually, they just prefer your money. Um, they they'll go after your TV. Like they'll come to your house, look for money, look for jewelry, look for TVs and computer like tablets and phones and stuff. But see, they want you out of the house, so you're probably going to have your phone with you. things that are easy to be able to sold at a pawn shop. They're not gonna look for your antique whatever coin collection. They want to get in and get out. And they're not going to go with guns. Like, it's very rare. Like, in our news and stuff, like, yes, there's robberies, but there's very rare that involves guns. No problem. Welcome back, Colombia. But actually, the most crimes are really petty crimes. Most of the crimes that happen, instead of breaking into your home, they are more likely to break into your car, not to steal your car. Because stealing a car and selling it or getting rid of it to do is really hard to do. Like, you have to have connections that can file off those numbers and all that stuff that you see on the TV shows, right? No, they're gonna break into your car. Actually, they don't even have to break into your car. There's been so many reports, like in my area on the moms group, of their stuff getting stolen from their car because they forgot to lock it. So it's teenagers usually going and checking to see whose cars are not locked, going in there and stealing your GPS, um, your cell phone if you actually leave it in there, the money that's in the car, your DVD player, DVDs, whatever. Like so, and one person had their tools like for their trade in the car, like construction worker tools. They went and stole that, and one person they had it was back of the truck, and they had a box at the back of the truck, and trunk in a box in the trunk of the truck. Too many T's. And in there they did have a shotgun like for hunting and some other stuff. So like they stole stuff that's readily available. Um, but that's about the crime that we get here. Well, in the crime we get here, we get vandalism of like people spray painting stuff on walls and stealing stuff from. Oh, another one is stealing stuff from your front yard. Like if Amazon delivers, that's the extent of crimes in my neighborhood. I'd much rather have those crimes than drive-by shootings or anything like that. Coffee. Whilst drawing and grinding red peppers, I've accidentally pepper sprayed myself and loved ones. I could cook for the B and E guys. Oh, I last time I was drying jalapenos, I thought I had washed my hands enough to get the hot pepper juices off them, and I had my allergies going, and I rubbed my eyes. OMG, was I crying and in pain. My eyeballs felt they were on fire, and I wanted to claw my eyeballs out for like half an hour. I was just like putting like a bowl of water and opening and closing my eyes, trying to do a flushing my eyeballs, and I was crying and going, oh yeah, and yeah, and you don't, the last thing you want to do is also go to the washroom afterwards and accidentally touch things. You don't want that feeling down there either. Ask me how I know. Yeah, has happened before. Never, 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 never again. Yes, but gloves. So see, I have small hands, but they're short, little, chubby fingers. Putting them in gloves, I always have like this much glove at the end of my fingers because my fingers are small. So it's not really great to handle. But I've learned that also when I do pickled beets too, because otherwise my hands are purple for a long time. Yeah, having hot pants. Yep. it it's it definitely puts things into perspective. I'm hungry, but I'm not hungry. I'm eating this. It tastes good, but I'm just like, you ever feel hungry that you want to fill your belly, but you don't want to chew? I think my mouth is just tired of chewing. Use the blender to chop up the hot peppers. We need them in our ceviche. I have never made ceviche, but I love eating ceviche. Ground them up and some lime juice. In the States, I just use Tabasco. Mmm. Now I want ceviche. Oh, yes. This is one of the reasons why we don't have cable. Is I'm so impressionable. I'm like, ooh, the keg advertised. Now I want steak. Because right now I'm just like not in the mood to eat. My tummy's not really hungry. I'm satisfied, but I'm not like I'm just like my mouth just doesn't want to chew anymore. Yes, I want to make a video on our easy, but we are building the garage still. What do you put in ceviche? I've had ceviche when we were on a cruise many moons ago, um, and it was like in little like shot glasses, and it was yummy. There was like a shrimp ceviche, and then there was another fish one. It's a fish ceviche. Yeah, but my kids even ate it. Well, not Rowan because she doesn't eat fish, but Abby liked it, and we went back to the same spot. We got like more little. We ended up I had a plate of shot glasses of ceviche. Yeah, Dorito, onion, and green pepper chunks. Hey Google, yes, is conch salad a ceviche?
On the website grillgirl.com, they say, ceviche is a Latin American favorite that consists of a white fish or shrimp salad that has been cooked by the acid of the lime and lemon juice it is marinated in. Conch salad consists of chopped up conch, plenty of lime juice, chopped onions, green and red peppers, and garlic salt.
Yeah, so because I got frozen conch from TNT, the Asian market. My dad used to make conch salad when I was a kid, and I loved it. He also used to make conch fritters and that, and I want to make that with the conch. I don't know if I'll make that this week. I might make it in September when when we're back from vacation, because then we can have a memory of the Caribbean. But yeah, we can't get conch up here hardly at all. But now that I know the Asian market has it, it's not cheap, but when it fits into my budget, I can get it at least. Yeah. So how it usually works in my grocery budget is that when on like one week, I tend to be tighter because I'm getting the stuff that we need to replenish whatever we used up, and then the second time of the month, there's usually a little bit more leeway of things because I just need some fill-ins, and that's usually when I'm getting more household stuff like toilet paper and paper towels and stuff, depending on what's on sale. So if in the first pay of the month, if toilet paper and that is on sale, I might get it then. Mm. Okay, come on, coffee. Why am I yawning? I actually slept in today till 7:30 for a free cruise to the Caribbean. Cool. Was it a legitimate offer, or was it those ones? Hmm. I've been up since 5. Yeah. Well, Abby was up since 2 this morning, and then she fell asleep again at like 7. And I haven't, not 7, 9, and I haven't seen her since. Her internal clock is like completely out of whack. And she went to bed. We got home, so Jeff had his appointment yesterday for a massage. His back is feeling much better this morning, like a significant feeling better. So he's asked for me to make an arrangement to have him another one next week. Would have cost a total of $130. That's not bad. If you had the cash, yeah, for the port fees. If you have the cash, that's the way to do it. Also, I've heard like I had family that lived in Miami area that if you were willing to um, go on vacation short notice, because the cruise ships want to leave with a fairly full ship. Well, some ships don't always fill, right? Um, so they'll offer them cheaper for locals because they're just literally, you know, an hour down the road or whatever, for extreme discounts, which might just be the port fees or whatever, um, and maybe something else. Because they know once they're on the ship, even if it's all inclusive, like drinks or whatever, once they're on the ship, they're going to be spending their money on excursions, on other things that are above, even if it's not all inclusive, like if it's all inclusive but not alcohol, you'd have to pay the extra for the drink package or whatever. But yeah, because that's a good deal. That's what this was, to fill the ship up, but we could reserve our time to go. Ah, so did you plan on doing it? Because I think that would, if you have that extra um, money, I think that's definitely um, worth it. It's a way to kind of living up here but paying down here. That's kind of how, well, that's kind of like what we like to do on vacations is, um, well, as we've gotten older, when we were younger, our vacations tended to be more metropolitan. We went to Toronto, Montreal, Niagara Falls, type thing. We did some camping. We did PEI. We did Halifax. Nope, I will not give CC to anyone over the phone. So for that problem, a friend of mine got a credit card from from her bank or whatever, that was like a separate card that she will use for online purchases and stuff like that, and for stuff that's over the phone. But it has like a $500 limit, so they can only get up to that amount, and it has to be authorized. So if it ever got like copied or taken for things that she didn't authorize. Time to start to make supper. What? Oh yeah, what are you making again? You're making chicken, I think, isn't it? Did you say? You're making chicken, Brad? See, I just took out the wings to defrost. What time do you eat supper? I mean, sometimes I'm starting to make supper around this time, but that's because there's lots of chopping and I'm not quick. And I get easily distracted. Like if I don't start supper, like parts of supper by 3:30, 4 o'clock, supper might not happen by 6, 7 o'clock. Yes, chicken and dumplings. Okay, so yeah, that takes a little bit of time to to get going because you have to stew it. Bye, Brad. 4. You mean 4 p.m.? That's early for supper. What time do you go to bed at? Because I don't know about you. If I ate supper at 4, I'd be hungry again at 7 or 8. Because I'm not, and I won't be going to bed at that time. And like, I need to eat something before bed. Like, we tend to try and go to bed. Okay, if I'm being good, I'll try and go to bed before 10. But typically, it's 11, 12 o'clock. Bye, Brad. Yeah, and tonight supper's gonna be later because Jeff just called before I went live, and he said he's gonna be late for supper. So I'll probably still have supper ready for about 6:30. Um, since it's wings and corn and whatever else I'm gonna make, salad probably. Um, it could be easily heated up. But him calling at 12, we go to bed at 11 p.m. Okay, bye, Brad. Saying he's going to be late, that means that he's just got a whole bunch of work put on his plate. Because usually he doesn't know he's going to be late until about 4. Were the spring rolls good last week? Yes and no. So the spring rolls, I I brought the spring roll papers to make them. I made the filling from scratch. It tasted great, but the spring roll papers didn't stick. Yeah, with the lettuce wrap. So lettuce wraps worked well, but the egg roll papers didn't stick together. So I first tried deep frying them, and they literally just fell apart. Like I fried two. So the rest of them, I just basted them with oil and then put them in the oven, and they got crispy, but not as crispy as they would have deep fried. But even then, they started to fall apart. Yeah, I don't know, and I think I just got a bum thing of because it's never happened before. Like you usually just get like you wet your fingers and you wet them and they stick. And if I had egg roll wrappers, which are basically more a wheat, like a more doughy, they probably would have stuck. But this time I thought, oh, I'd make spring roll ones because the egg roll ones tend to sometimes stick together so when you're peeling them apart, they might rip and stuff. But um, it worked out fine. The beef lettuce wraps were good. We had it with rice. My husband thought that we needed more veggies in it, so he like if I make them again, the lettuce wraps, I need to make sure I pick up bean sprouts. So we have bean sprouts and shred some lettuce and stuff like that, or like carrots or cucumbers to be in it because all it was very seasoned beef, which tasted great, and on the lettuce, which was much. Um, it was actually quite a light meal, and the spring rolls were good. Like but they fell apart. Like even when I did them in the oven, so it was not. It was a messy meal, but tasted good. Um, this coming week, my menu plan is going to be a bit different. We're gonna have ribs because I picked up ribs for $1.98 a pound, so I got like 2 racks of ribs. Um, and we're gonna use the beef, like the Hungarian beef goulash freezer meal that I did a video of. We're gonna use that up with mashed potatoes one day. Um, Gonna make spaghetti and meatballs with some of that ground beef. Um, Trying to think because we're trying to use the stuff that we have in the fridge that needs to get used up. So one day we're having baked potatoes because we have, like, I still have like 2 tubs of sour cream, and we're gonna be having lots of salads. We still have broccoli and cauliflower, but I haven't made the so that tonight. What's tonight? No, tomorrow I'm gonna make the broccoli cheese baked potatoes. Um, what else? And then we'll have the leftover rotisserie chicken with gonna make a bean and rice salad. I want to make um, a different salad. Like I think I saw on my Pinterest it was a quinoa bean salad or a rice and bean salad. I can't remember what it was. I wanted to make it. It looked really good, and I thought my family might like a little bit of it. um, they're not big salad people, but I would love to have a plate of salad because I have the fresh bread and liverwurst. So we could easily have the fresh bread, the liverwurst, the salad, the baked potato with cheese and broccoli. And that's for supper. And then tomorrow breakfast is big breakfast. So I have eggs, bacon, and hash browns. Um, did not pick up bread other than the French bread. So I have like about 4 or 5 pieces of regular bread. So I might make a loaf of bread. I don't know. But usually it's more of hubby that wants it for his dippy eggs. I'm fine with whatever. I just won't do dippy eggs. I'll do like scrambled or fried where I don't necessarily need toast. But I have a bag of the hash brown potatoes that I want to use up. And I have bacon in the fridge that has to be used up. I mean, it doesn't have to be. I could throw it in the freezer, but yes, I gotta use the Pullman pan. Well, that's why, like, I was talking to Abby yesterday when I went to Costco because she came to Costco with me, not the rest of the stores, because she only wants to go to Costco for the taste testers. She has her priorities straight. And I'm like, well, we're at Costco. I'm like, well, do I need to pick up bread? She's like, no, we're not going to go through 2 loaves of bread in a week because we're not big sandwich people. Like honestly, the only time that we eat bread. Hi, scrumptious model trains. Hello. The only time that we really eat bread is toast with breakfast, or um, Rowan and I like making, instead of when we do big breakfast, we like making BLTs with the bread. And on a very rare occasion, if hubby is still hungry for supper, like if we've eaten supper and there's no more leftovers, he might have a peanut butter sandwich as a filler up thing. But a loaf of bread might last us a week. We've had what, we've had 2 loaves of bread that lasted us, what, 3 weeks now, and we still have some. All I can say is that the bread doesn't go bad as fast as it used to. Now my fresh bread, the stuff I get from the grocery store at the Italian, I pay $1 for fresh bread. I can barely make it for less than that. We like it just cut thickly and we butter it and we put cheese, and liverwurst or cheese and meat, or make it garlic bread. Work is getting in my way of chai. How dare work actually expect you to be like working? I'm putting the back thing on my back. See, now my back is hurting just right at the bottom of my back ribs. Er, yes, well, that's for Monday, baby back ribs. Exactly. How dare they pay you, however, an hour? I don't know what you get paid an hour. Erg. And expect you to do work and not chat on YouTube. Well, see, to solve that problem, just go on welfare and stay at home and watch YouTube. But no, apparently you want to have a life with other stuff. 14 is the lowest wage in Ontario. Yes. And it's going to go up to 15 January 1st. Oh, turning off my notifications. Because the last thing you want is to hear vibrating things or if my phone does ring, ACDC. Ooh, I know what I want. Just gonna move this over here. I'm gonna have one of the chocolates. I'm gonna have one of the chocolates that Amanda and Rosie sent me. Ooh, white chocolate. Did you know I liked white chocolate? I actually love white chocolate. Abby and I are the only ones that like white chocolate here. But see, they did get a little bit warm in transport because they're not quite as round. See, they kind of melted and then reformed. Mmm. 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 Yum. That is what I needed. I was like, I don't really want to eat. I'm hungry, but I'm not really hungry. I don't want you. I needed chocolate. Mm-hmm. The Doug Ford canceling the $15 an hour. Oh, did already? Well, I don't think he can. I don't think he can go back. But still, oops. So there's one that's a little bit bent. Oh, ice cream. Ice cream sounds good too. See, this one melted through. That's okay. So apparently, sending chocolate during a heat wave. Not so great. Proud to say. Mmm. Keeping on 40 minutes. Well, I think by law he can't go backwards. The problem was our minimum wage did not keep up with the times. That it was at 10, I think 10.85 forever, and only going up like 10 cents. So then it jumped to 14 because it needed to be at that level. You just pass, hey, Secret's Immortal, how's it going? Make sure you grab a coffee and a chocolate. Stuffing it. Now I want ice cream. Well, I do have ice cream in my fridge. I have chocolate. I have chocolate chip mint. The chocolate chip mint, Abby and I like. So Abby and I are very much See, there's another one squeak. Um, we have similar tastes. Rowan and I have some tastes that are the same, but she's more her dad's daughter in food wise, while Abby is more mine. Because Daddy's not big on seafood. Rowan doesn't like it at all. He likes shrimp. That's about and he likes shrimp and calamari, a bit of clam chowder, a little bit of fish, not much. While Rowan doesn't like seafood at all. I'm gonna stop. Yum. Now I want ice cream. I want like fancy ice cream because I just picked up like the $2 ice cream that's on sale. You can make fudge sauce for your ice cream with chocolate chips and some of the cocoa powder. If you want darker yums, yum. Well, yeah. Hey, I put warnings. I say grab a coffee and a snack and chat because we're always talking about food. Yes, we have Dairy Queen here. I could walk to a Dairy Queen in about 30 minutes or take the bus for about the same amount of time, too. Well, probably about 10-minute bus ride. I like the blizzards. I like a score blizzard. You went to Polo Duro? What's Palo Duro? Oh, we're talking about 50 chickens? Ice cream with stuff in it. Candy, fudge. See, hubby likes. So he said I keep on putting. When I do have space in the freezer, I'll pick up the fancy ice cream, and he was like, "No, this is too fancy." He wanted just vanilla. So last time I picked him up vanilla, we just finished off the vanilla, and last time I did groceries 2 weeks ago, I picked him up chocolate. So I picked him up chocolate, and then I picked up Abby and I mint chocolate because we were just talking about because she went shopping with me at Costco that day, and we were talking about earlier, and she was saying, "Oh no, we had gone downtown before that grocery haul when I went and did the tax stuff. I had to sign stuff. She decided to come with me, and we stopped at Rio Center, and we got chocolate mint. No, she was trying to decide between chocolate mint ice cream and this lime sorbet, and the tropical lime sorbet. I go, we'll get that one because you don't get that often. Chocolate mint we can get anywhere. So when I did groceries that week, I picked up chocolate mint so that we have that. I love fudge. So yeah, in my cupboards, I do have a caramel sauce. I do have a chocolate sauce that I bought last summer. Because see, in the summertime is the time that we tend to have ice cream um, more often than the rest of the year. Because the rest of the year, I tend to fill up the freezer with more food that there's not space for ice cream. I still have freezies. Well, I still freezies in my freezer. I still have freezes that need to go in the freezer. And then I still have popsicles that I bought at Costco like a month and a half ago. We haven't we haven't even finished them. Like gone through half of them, and they're like individual popsicles, and they're healthy ones. They're like sorbet ones with fruit. So healthy as in like not full of sugar and have some sort of nutrients in them versus freezy, which is just colored sugar water. Hey Google, what's the temperature today?
Today in Ottawa, expect a high of 26 and a low of 14.
Hey Google, what is the temperature in Fahrenheit?
Today in Ottawa, expect a high of 79 and a low of 57 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it's actually cool today. It was hot and muggy yesterday. It's 79 here, or 27. In Celsius. Secrets? You mean Celsius? Rain in the forecast for the next 50 days? Ouch. 25 here. Okay. I got like crumbs. The downside to a dress with a low cleavage is crumbs. Yes, that's why my hair is in a bun because the humidity was so icky and stuff. My hair was like Einstein's wife. Hair like I put my finger in a socket. I'm going to mosey on. Well, you have a great day, Rosie. Rosie's going to mosey on. What you gonna do? I'm gonna try and live stream tomorrow morning around 8:30, 9 o'clock ish. Probably 9 o'clock for a short while until my family wakes up because um, they're not morning people. Errands. What type of errands you gotta do? Banking, groceries. Target. What's Po Box groceries? What's Po Box? Target, is that Target? Jen, we want to see ads. Where are they? I don't know where they are. I haven't, I'm still. I got my 4,000. It was under review or whatever. I just went to the bank. P.O. Box. Okay. Okay. Okay, so that we have a store here in Canada. It's actually founded in Ottawa. It's called Giant Tiger. It's a discount clothing type store. They do have some food and like canned food and usually a tiny little small fridge freezer section. But it's a great place to go get, you know, cheap clothes that aren't necessarily going to fall apart. Um, like their normal price for shorts, like the jogging pants shorts that go to your just above your knees, are like $8, and then when they're on sale, they're like four. You can get T-shirts for like $10. But there's also a place that they also sell sometimes those as seen on TV things, um, and they're a great place to get like things like socks and underwear, cheaper than Walmart. Um, we call it so the going so you buy your stuff at Giant Tiger. Some like teenagers will be like, "Oh, I only buy stuff at like Le Chateau or Abercrombie and Finch or whatever." I don't know. And they're spending like $1 zillion for like nothing. So a funny way of we talk about Giant Tiger. Oh yeah, we got the GT boutique to be it like make it fancy. So instead of Target, which is Target with a French accent. GT Boutique. So let me see. I'm gonna go to my thingy and see what they um, have said. I don't know. People have been saying like a month or so ago when they had their hours of I was under review. Um, that took them a month to get. Well, it's been almost a month. It will be a month. It's not enabled yet. Not yet. Application submitted and in review. So I might get enabled while I'm on vacation, which is not going to be so helpful, but that's fine. Because now I've got 4,229 hours. But my subscribers, it keeps on going up and down. I can't seem to get above the 1,100 mark. I'm at like 1,084. So the other day I was at 1,097. I couldn't get over the 1,100. Yep, got fancy it. We went to Qdoba. What's Qdoba? Qdoba? I've never. Hey Google, what's Qdoba?
According to Wikipedia, Qdoba Mexican Eats is a chain of fast casual restaurants in the United States and Canada serving Mexican-style cuisine.
Hey Google, where is the closest Qdoba restaurant to where I live?
I found a few places. The first one is Qdoba Mexican Eats at 1867 Empire Boulevard, Webster. The second one is Qdoba at 10730 Enduring Freedom Drive, Fort Drum. The third one is Qdoba Mexican Eats at 1660 Niagara Falls Boulevard, Tonawanda.
Ah, cool. 4,000 hours. Well, it's taken me what? What month are we? August. What? 18 months to get to that way. One of these days, yes. Well, how many hours do you have right now? Cause I don't know. Do you have 1,000? Let me go. I'm gonna go check out your subscribers. I'll have some weeks gain a lot and then won't gain. Well, you got 568. Well, that's pretty good. But how many hours do you have of watch time? Well, I'll play one of your playlists here. I'm gonna play your 2018 summer vlogs, and that will help you a little bit. If everybody pops in here and plays some of your playlist. I know we started YouTube around the same time. Watch time hours. Cool. Um, yeah, it's one of those things you just. Have you checked out different Facebook groups to help with what some groups do? They do like a playlist, and they do a playlist of to do things like view for view. So they make a playlist, and the goal is that everybody puts one video up to a certain time, let's say 12 minutes or whatever, onto that playlist. And then the goal is that, say, if there's 10 people put a video up there, they, the goal is that you should have 10 views of that same video, by the end of the day. So it's not, it's to support And then you might find your new a new favorite channel too. Take a nap later, y'all. Well, thanks, Steve, for popping by. What are you having for supper today? For groups like that, okay. Because I found in one of the moms groups, which I don't, you know, it was a moms. They tend to do a playlist like once a week or something like that. That if you put a thing in, so you get some watch time, which has really helped. But you also have to put the effort in. You have to watch the whole playlist yourself within a certain time frame. And I think that's the hardest part is that some of these groups have a short time frame. Well, I'm not always at my computer to watch the playlist, like or even to press play on it. So if I'm busy doing stuff, I have to make sure that I have the time to do it before I participate in something like that. Well, anytime 50 chickens. If you want to um, watch a playlist of mine, I'll watch a playlist of yours to help you with watch time. I mean that's what has happened with a lot of people, is that sometimes it's the watch time is harder to get than the subscribers. Also, participating in other people's live streams, um, and supporting other people in channels has helped other people get subscribers too. I've also joined some collaborations. Yes, the collaborations, participating. Also, making some videos on things of what's trending. I mean, since you're a kid too, you could see what's available on those kid channels that you might be able to do, like the food challenges or that just something fun to throw in with your channel. I mean, I like your chickens and I love your videos. Like you do a very good job with your video creations. Much better than what I do, I think. But mine are like they're different type of videos. I mean, my chat ones, I'm chatting with everybody, but then like I have menus, I have food cooking, I have um, frugal saving money type things. Have you heard of the Dave Ramsey teenage money program or whatever? He has a one for kids that help teenagers learn to save money for their college, university, or for whatever, for their first car and all that stuff. You could do some videos about that too, which I think is completely cool. Well, this is the thing. I wish that they taught this type of stuff in school. I would. This is what I was saying. On the mom's group later today, my local mom's group, someone was talking about. I'm asking the other moms how they're looking at having to get another vehicle, and they've never had more than one car loan at a time, and they currently still have car loan on their car that they have, but they need a second car because that other car um, is um, starting to get their repairs are starting to get higher than the car loan payments. So they're looking at trading it in for another car. When they were looking for a new one, and I'm like, no, like you're gonna and the car dealership with the current tariffs, they're saying that in the next month or so, with the new batches of cars that are coming in, it's going to raise these certain cars between $5,000 and $8,000 ticket price. And so, but I think it was also a little bit of a push to purchase the car now to save the money on the tariffs, right? Yes. Well, yeah. No. Yes, I do agree that the American school system, as it's set up, is not beneficial to the most of the people that are in school. Same thing with Canadian school system. We're a little bit better in the sense that um, the schools get funding from the provincial as well as federal governments, and it's not reliant on the students being at school. Like you have a tardiness thing or that. It's relying on, and the newer schools get the newer equipment because they're like brand new schools. The older schools are getting some new equipment, but now with our in our province at least, our current premier of the province just cut funding, any new funding for schools. So the newer schools that have been built are up to par with technology, while the older schools have been slowly upgrading their technology every year, and now they're at a disadvantage. Playing your place is awesome. And homeschool is definitely an option. Um, I contemplated homeschooling my kids, but um, at the time they were in French immersion. I'm not qualified to really teach them French. Um, but it was agreed upon between hubby and I that if there was an issue, it was always an option. Um, I'm just, but they're doing well in school, and I'm hoping that Abby's school. Now, if her insomnia and her um, non 24-hour disorder thing keeps on being an issue, we might have to do um, her courses at home because she was having a hard time this past year getting up to be at school for her classes because her classes start at 8. And what was happening was like what's happening right now. Like she was pretty good for July, but August has really thrown a loop for her that um, she's been dealing with more insomnia. That she's been falling asleep in the afternoon and literally sleeping through supper. So she's not even waking up for supper. Usually I try and wake her up. Sometimes she's come down like half an hour later and we've already finished supper. So she'll eat her we'll heat up her food and she'll eat it. But this past week there's been 2 nights that I couldn't wake her up playing ACDC for an hour and a half under her bed. Couldn't wake her up. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna let her sleep. It's not like, you know, she's not going to die from missing a meal. Like, she'll just be really hungry the next day for breakfast, so she'll actually probably eat breakfast versus waiting till 10, 11 o'clock. So, it's not like, she's going to waste away. Online school where teachers way better than our school. Online. So this is the thing, is that we might have to look at what's available that she could do at home or possibly in the evenings because if her insomnia is still working this way in September, we might have a hard time getting her to school for 8 o'clock to actually be in class for her classes. Not that she can't do the work, because she's doing the academic stream. So this is the stream that's university bound. There's applied. So applied is college, and that's what Rowan is doing. Mostly applied. There's some in the school versus like if she wanted to be a teacher, she'd have to go to university, you know. But she wants to be an EA to work with kids with developmental or physical disabilities and stuff like that. So far, that's what she wants to do. Now, Abby, next term, she has psychology, anthropology, and sociology as one course. She has uh, English, math, biology. So that's 4. And then she has a gym credit. She wants to take another gym credit. This one is physical fitness, where they'll also talk about nutrition and they'll go basically to the gym and learn about the different exercises to do which muscle group. So there's a bit of biology thrown in there. And Oh, and I think does she have her? Oh, she has another English credit, but it's uh Aboriginal English or English with Aboriginal Studies or something like that. Which I'm like, I'm when I saw the description of that, I'm like, personally, I think that's going to be boring, but she really likes English. I mean, it'd be interesting. Depends on how they. It depends on the teacher. Like that. Like it's kind of like history, you know. Depending on the teacher, history could be really boring and going, or it could be really interesting. Like those books, the horrible histories. That's really interesting stuff. Or if you look at the Netflix series, The Borgias, like that was, and you know, The Crown, and that kind of like is interesting. I'm a year ahead in school, since you can test out of material. Ah, cool. So what grade are you in then, Alex? Because my oldest daughter, she's going into grade 12, so she could be graduating this year, and Abby's going into grade 11. But she's going to be doing 5 year program because she's only taking I think 7 courses, so she needs to take an extra year to do the extra courses because she needs the extra space to do. Oh, she's doing math, is to do the math. So if she's doing academic math, it takes twice as long to do it when you're doing it in Braille. Bye, Alex. Bye, 50 Chickens in the Hen House. I will have your playlist playing in the background, helping you with some watch hours. You're in ninth grade? Are you in ninth grade or you're going into ninth grade? You're doing math, bro. Yeah, well, Abby's really good with the trigonometry part of it, which is the most visual part of math. It's the quadrilateral formulas that she's not as great in. Yeah, I don't like. Well, I can't see. Well, very much so. I can't see math. I'm more practical math. So figuring out the taxes and adding, subtracting, multiplication, that type of stuff. I don't like doing it anyways, but if it's practical, I don't mind it. It's all the theory type, the math and the theory stuff. If I can't, if it doesn't pertain to my life personally, it doesn't mean much. Well, exactly. Like like I liked physics because it was practical. Forces and energy, how much energy you have to put into something to do something else, and how to lessen that amount by using gears or whatever to make it so that you don't have to put as much work into something, so it's easier. Exactly, and she doesn't care about that part either, but she likes the trigonometry part. Like that for that makes sense to her. I don't understand. Well, Rowan is good at math, but she's good at she has a strong understanding, a strong number sense, so she has a good understanding of the the numbers and finding the answers to the problem. Her biggest problem is showing her work and the word problems because sometimes her reading of the word problems is not always 100% accurate, so she's missing, say, a word in there, and what she thought the word problem was is not what the word problem is. So having someone read her the word problems, she can figure it out. But her having to read the word problems, sometimes she's not putting the right symbol in place versus, like, say, between multiplication and addition, because of just the words they use, that you have to figure out, is this a multiplication problem, or is this an addition problem, or is this a subtraction problem, or so. But she is very good with her hands too. So, like, she's good at measuring and stuff. Like, she took, so last year she took mechanical mechanics, not mechanics. Yeah, she took auto mechanics, and she took construction. So she learned how to change a tire and change oil of a car and put an engine together, a lawnmower engine together. And then in construction, she had to build a wooden frame, like as a house, like like about this big of a, and then on the one wall, she had to do the wall stuff where there would be um, electrical, like a switch to be a light, and she had to do a door and a window as per what they learnt, but like small size. Hey Nintendo 2009, long time no see. How's it going? Congrats on getting over 1100 subscribers. I haven't hit that point. I just can't get over the 1100 mark. I get them to about 1195 and then it goes down to 1188. And over 400 videos. Very cool. Yeah, I don't know how many videos I have. I don't know. Where do you find that number? Under video manager? Oh, I have 464 videos. It's under video manager clicked up there. Very cool. I've only been, well, technically, like, when I guess I'm gonna made this my name, I got this like in 2011 or so, when I uploaded like a little video, like my kid running and stuff like that. But I my channel, I only really I started it January 1st last year. So to increase your um, subscriber base, I think, so a couple of things which helped me get over the hump of subscribe. Like it seems like when you're under 500, it's hard to get subscribers, but then once you hit like the 500 mark, it's easier sometimes. Is properly engaging your audience. So if you have comments, answering those comments and engaging them. If you can do live streams, because I don't know at what point you could do live streams on a channel. There's a point on your channel that I don't know if it's a subscriber amount or a time amount of how long you've had a channel. Doing a live stream has really helped me gain new subscribers, and that participating, asking them questions, and really engaging the audience, as well as participating in other people's live streams and chatting with the people in there, supporting them. You know, not saying, "Hey, I subbed you. Will you sub me back?" You don't do that type of stuff. You go, "Hey, I'm supporting you." Like Nintendo 2009, I'm supporting you. Well, I just told the person I'm supporting them. I'm not saying you have to support me back. You know, but sometimes when you're supporting the people, you're finding people new channels to watch, either in your same genre of things that you're interested in, or maybe it's a whole new one. And just uploading videos on a regular basis was significant. So this was the problem last December. I was uploading at the beginning of December on a regular basis. Call my support family nation, awesome. And so last December, uh, I was uploading on a fairly regular basis at the beginning, and then I got overwhelmed with like Christmas and family stuff, and that for like basically the last half of December, I hardly uploaded at all. So, and I noticed that the views on my channel went down. And so I made the point that in January of this year, before all the news of the whole channel thingies were changing, was to put more effort into my channel, to be more regular, to put out more videos on a regular basis, like a couple times a week, and to do live streams, you know, to engage with my audience, so that my audience that likes to watch my channel, there's either a new video out there in a day or two, or there's an upcoming live stream that you can chat with me, so that I'm not forgotten from my fan base, I guess. Um, which I'm still always completely shocked that people like watching my channel, like watching me, because I do it just for fun, and I do it like, especially my live streams. I like to chat with you guys, and I like to see what's on in your life, um, and how it compares to what's on in my life. Not in comparing like, oh, I'm better than you or anything like that, but just comparing as in seeing how we're the same. Because I always find it so interesting that people from different countries, from different backgrounds, from different religions, from different nationalities, from different races and stuff, can basically have the same and similar light. Okay, what the a cloud just went and blocked the sun there, so now my screen light seems to be brighter on my face. And how they can be so much uh, similar, that whether I live in Canada, whether I live in the States, whether I live in Japan, whether I live in Australia, there's a lot of similarities. And there's a lot of things that are uniquely different from each country. Whether it's a democratic country, whether it's a communist country, whether it's a relatively poor country or a relatively rich country. Makes for fun because you aren't doing. Yes, the vlogs are good. Doing the question videos of, like, sometimes there's like 30 questions about me, or 20 things you didn't know about me, or um, sometimes there's like in I put a video to come out on the 20th. It's about Canadian slang terms, like Canadian words that most Americans might not know the definition of. Yes, and vlogs tend to, and there's people that like watching vlogs, and there's people that don't like watching vlogs. It's like I have some people that only like to watch my grocery hauls, and they like to watch, and I have some people that only like to watch my cooking videos. So I try and have a kind of a variety of them so that there's always a little bit for everybody. And then they might watch some videos that they don't necessarily watch. Oh, Amanda, you love them. Oh, you are just awesome. I just wish. Well, you'll have to comment. Well, not the ones that are coming up in end of August. My grocery haul. I took on my new camera. Oh, did you see my new camera? It's another little camera. It's called a Yi Light. I'm going to ask hubby how I can use it. Supposedly I can use it for live streaming because it has Wi-Fi capability. So I like my YouTube channel. It's a variety of stuff. So my grocery haul and my menu plan for next week. I'm going to take it with that camera. So it's not going to be on my phone. I'm going to take it with that camera and do it hopefully in a one take. So I don't have to do a bunch of editing. Because that's my thing is editing, and then sometimes my computer crashes, and it just takes, like my grocery haul is going to be a whole bunch of different clips, how it usually is. But I took you into the stores for all the stores except for Costco, because Costco was a crazy madhouse, and I had Abby with me, and we weren't picking up a huge amount of things, but the 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 feeling of the stores was just very busy, and I didn't like the crowds as much. So that one I showed you my groceries how I normally do in the bags. Well, I took the stuff out for that part, but the other ones I showed you in the store, and then I showed you my receipts. And I only spent, so my grocery budget is 400 to 450 every 2 weeks. So on my grocery budget, I only spent 249. Now I didn't add in going to the liquor store for to get the vodka, and I picked up this hot chili pepper moonshine made in Ontario, a small batch. It was on sale. Apparently, the liquor store has a clearance section. Who knew? So they had stuff like seasonal stuff. Like they were having a bunch of the summer wines and sangria type wines and like these small batch brews. So this small batch brew was normally 40 something, no, $49, and I haven't tried it yet. But it has chili pepper. It says hot chili pepper moonshine or whatever, and it says good in the Caesars. So yesterday, when we went to the appointment, Jeff's massage appointment, I stopped over to the Food Basics there, and I picked up Clamato, the works flavor, so it had all the seasonings in it. You guys ever have Clamato? It's for Caesars. So a Caesar is like a Bloody Mary, like a spicy Bloody Mary, but you instead of V8 or tomato juice, you use clamato juice, and clamato juice is basically V8 mixed with clam juice. So I could show you that bottle. Just gotta move my camera, not my camera, my computer. Okay, no, I just have to move the cord so I don't trip over it. I'll be right back. Ah, don't want to dump my coffee. No, 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 no. I'll be right back. So I'll show you. Ah. So LCBO. So I picked up Glacier Born Alberta Pure Vodka. It's voted best vodka in 2011 and 2013 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. It was on, well, it was $26.70 for 750 mils, while 500 mils of vanilla, which is basically vanilla and vodka, was $38.99. So that's why I picked up that. I'll be doing a video on that. And then, oh, this is cold infused hot chili moonshine alcoholic beverage, perfect for Caesar mixer, independently craft distilled, batch number one. Um, it's made in Oakville. It even has the address. Two ingredients: 2 row barley malt, filtered water, Ontario hot chili peppers, 40% alcohol, and that was also 750 mils. That was more expensive. I thought it was going to be a little bit cheap. It was, I think, 40. Um, and yeah, it was 42, but it was 50 something originally. So I'm like, eh. Since I had extra in my budget, I did pick that up. But that's not a food purchase. And that will, like this, so this, I'll be making 2 things probably of vanilla with this. You know, put them in mason jars or whatever. And this will last forever for um, Caesars and or a swig. But hot chili pepper, yum. Yes, well, Caesars are different. They're better than Bloody Marys. Bloody Marys, they're just too tomatoey. Yes, I thought I don't usually buy like fancy, but there was a clearance section. I'm like, last time I was there a few months ago, a different one. There was a clearance section that they had some leftover Christmassy liqueurs and stuff that I picked up a grapefruit flavored vodka that normally is about like $30 for 750 mils or so, and I got it for like 20. I'm like, this is my kind of clearance section. So, like, sometimes they'll have like uh last batches of wine. So if there's like there's usually a basket at the back of the store with bottles of wine that because they make wine in different batch, like the fancier wines where it's a batch or a year, and so the last few bottles of that they'll put in this basket or on the shelf, and they'll mark it down because there's the new batch coming in. Hi, Radiation King. How's it going? Don't really like spicy. I'm more of a sweet flavor. Well, I've never tried a spicy alcohol like that. So I've tried Fireball, which is like more cinnamon hearts but burns your throat, and um, I do like that. Actually, I would love to pick up. Yeah, I love that stuff though. That's a nice burn. I love cinnamon hearts, so. Actually, there's a one that's better than Fireball. It's the Jack, but I haven't seen it lately. It's Jack Daniels. Uh, they have a Jack Daniels like a Fireball, but it's Jack Daniels one. It has more of a cinnamon heart taste than Fireball. So how's it going, Radiation King? Whereabouts in the world are you from? I wonder how much wine owned by Napoleon. Probably a lot. So this is the thing is sometimes yes, you're in Canada. Whereabouts in Canada are you, Nintendo? Denmark. See, so that's the thing. Sometimes the different years are worth more because they're smaller batches, so there's less of them out there. And sometimes the older wines or alcohols are worth more because of they they're smaller batches, or that they taste better the longer it's aged. Nova Scotia, cool. Whereabouts in Nova Scotia? My husband is from uh, St. John's, New Brunswick, but his father was from Nova Scotia. Actually, his father went to Queen Mary's University in Halifax, and then his father's from Newfoundland. Yeah, I believe Denmark is the country that we share an island with up north. Um, that we keep on saying it's our island, and I think Denmark says it's their island. Oh, I'm now supporting you. I was not before. So I'm supporting you now. My grandfather used to have old wine, but he drank it all when he lost. He was from Germany. 3 hours from Halifax. Cool. My my daughter, my oldest, went to Nova Scotia for an exchange last year for a couple of weeks. Like, so she went there for 2 weeks, and then another student came here for 2 weeks. Um, you know the singer? Oh shoot, my brain went blank. Where she's from there? Famous country, not Reba McEntire, from Halifax or from Nova Scotia area. Um, Shoot, my brain went gone. Hey Google, famous country singers from Nova Scotia. Oh, hello, princess.
On the website gigmasters.com, they say, Nova Scotia country singers. Country singers have been gracing us with their sweet melodies for quite some time now, from Willie Nelson to Carrie Underwood, Johnny Cash, and all the rest. Find and book a singer near you in Nova Scotia when you search on Gigmasters.
Not very helpful. Comes gonna cover the symbols on it. Ah, yes. Well, because that was the thing, was all of Germany had those symbols on everything, whether they were believing in it or not. Oh, hello, princess. Okay, now I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try and get rid of some of her knots since she decided to come, and I've got the clipper here. I have to plug it in though. She's not gonna like it so much. Hey, roll on the floor, King Flauntus. How's it going? Just there we go. She has some knots. She's old and she can't get to her hind legs back area, so she has a few matted knots that I have to try and get out. So oh, there we go. Yes, and yes, I'm doing on the couch. It's already covered in cat fur, anyways. But she's purring. Yes, getting some of the knots. How's it going? Which one? You're silly kitty. Mm-hmm. No, not Celine Dion. That's from Quebec. Um, no, but I'll go. Gosha. Famous. Yeah, female singer. Enough sad stuff. He was also haunted by the Russians. He was a wolf in SSR. The elite. Ah, yes. Well, this is the thing is like, he might not have. He might have believed the information, but then when found out the information, your opinions can change. It's kind of like in the States and stuff where they had the KKK and all that stuff. When you if you're brought up that way, you can outgrow it once you get all the information. Not Carrie Underwood. No, she actually married an Ottawa senator person, and I live in Canada, which where the senators play. I'm just going. I'm trying to Google it. My friends are the friendliest friends. Yeah. Well, I mean, we all have skeletons in our closet, right? Everybody in the world has had a distant relative that probably owned slaves, that probably worked for the wrong side of the democracy at some point, you know, because at the time that is um, what they what they had to do. Like that's what the norm was. Whether they completely believed it or that was just their job. You know, you can either do the job or you can starve. You know, but um, list of musicians from Nova Scotia. I'm gonna go there and list the musicians from Nova Scotia. She's a female singer. Oh, not Sarah McLaughlin. Anne Murray, no. I don't think Anne Murray. Well, if my oldest was here, I'd be able to ask her. Because she went and stayed in the city where that person's from. Let me go. Let me go see Anne Murray. See where she's from. Yeah, you got one of the knots. Big chunks out. Um, country. Where is she from? No, Frank Springhill. No. Oh, my brain went blank. What's it? I can't remember. It's not Anne Murray. Just gonna get the notes out. It's hard to shave, when you're leaning your back against the side here. I learned about his past. Well, true. You can't do anything about the past, and as long as they, people how they once were are not necessarily how they are. You know, they once were one way. Doesn't mean they are that way anymore, or they still believe. It's kind of saying, and that's the way they were brought up. So they were brought up that way. Um, you just have to deal with it and just try and be kind from now on. So my cat's 14 years old, and she has a few matted knots. So by the end of this week, she might be bald-ish around her backside. Yeah, but we gotta get this out. You got a knot there too? Okay, I tried to help with that one. So that one you can almost reach. I can get maybe the knot out. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be covered in fur. Yeah, but I'm trying to get them out for you, kitty. Hey, Ninja Master. I'm trying to take the knots out of Princess's back. She's got a few because she's old and she can't bend that far. But just take it. Oh, getting notifications. Don't want to get no. So I'm just trying to help her out. How's it going, Ninja? What's she been doing today? Playing video games? Oh, getting fur everywhere. Yeah. Did a man new chat called viewer chat too? Tired of random people being added and then random people viewer chat too. Especially a new one. Okay, good. Yeah, because I tend to not get the notifications. Here, I gotta get the ear bits there. I just don't pop in there too often. Because, again, there are some people talking and I'm like, I don't know who you are. Group, and I play video games this morning. Cool. I just got some of the knots out of Princess. She only let me do it for a bit. That's 15 minutes of knots. Maybe by the end of the weekend I might get them all out. Yeah, haven't popping to chat, so I just decided to make a new one. Good. Yeah, well, Jacob kept on adding people, and then other people pop in and add other people. And I was just getting notifications all the time. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to. So I turn off the notifications, so I still see them, but I don't get them because sometimes there's a whole bunch of talking, and then I get and I don't want to hear all the notifications because I'm like busy doing something else. Yes, and I'm like, no, I didn't mind being part of it for um. Oh, there's the cord. Oh, my computer got unplugged. But I didn't want 50 people in there, like, or what, 100 people. But yeah, if you, yeah, maybe set it so that you can only um, add people. That might be better. Yeah, I didn't mind being part of it for a while. I want somebody. Well, I think that was the thing was Jacob was adding people that new people he made friends with, but he was adding a whole bunch of them. Yes, drama is definitely something that seems to follow on. Oh, there's my charge. Gotta plug my phone in before I lose. Before I lose battery. Ah! Almost lost my phone though. You don't want that. Come here. I'll do some more. There. I'm just gonna turn my camera down a bit. And here's Princess back. I'm gonna try and get these knots out. Might look funny though for a short while, kitty cat. But you'll feel much better and the knots won't hurt you. Yes. See, look at this. This is just the hair I just got off for the knot. I know. No, don't try to bite it. I'm just trying to take out the knots for you. Fine. Wait, you don't look that side. Then go this way. So I can get this side. If I can get this one out, that's one side almost done. There we go. Got another little knot. She won't let me touch the big knots. or not much. Does anybody here have kitty cats? I'm not getting covered in fur. Is anybody still here? I'm unsure. Well, I guess I should get going since it's about 3 something. What time is it? I have no idea. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 3:41.
3:41. So I should get going. I have to, I guess, start supper. Get that moving. So have a good day, everybody. I will be live tomorrow around 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye, friends.